greatest damn show on YouTube. Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. I'm a little late, chat. My bad, I'm a little late, man. We got a good episode, though. We got a good episode, man. Why is my Discord steady going off like that? Alright, we in here, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Oh, man! Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing this morning, chat? Double tap the screen, shut a live out. What we doing this morning, chat? We got an action-packed episode. We got Gen Z setting Parliament on fire over there in Nepal. I told y'all last night these protests quickly turned to riots. We got Trump confirming anti-gravity tech. I don't know. We're going to see what Alex Jones is talking about over there. I need everybody to double tap the screen, share the live out, call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them, plug live, and he running his mouth. Last night we seen Gen Z, man. We seen the social media ban. That's why I got the thumbnail. Is it corruption or is it censorship, man? Is it corruption or is it censorship? Because the reports came out that the social media ban took effect in Nepal and Gen Z went crazy. Gen Z took to the streets. As of last night, there were 19 unalived and about 450 injured. Man, Gen Z went crazy. Well, they're saying that this is still ongoing, coming up on 30 hours. 30 hours of riots, protests. The prime minister has already resigned. They have the finance minister wading through the dang water, chat, getting beat in his head. It's crazy, man. They also set fire to the Parliament building, man. They also set fire to the Parliament building over there. We're going to get into it. I know some of y'all might have heard us talk about it on last night's episode, but I told you it would carry over into the morning because reports were just coming out, videos were. We also have this lady that Joe Rogan had on our show. She's talking about why she is conservative by blood. She talks about the difference between North Korea and South Korea. She's saying a lot of people don't really actually understand what communism is, and she's telling her story. We'll get into that. Also, the lady y'all see above me, she's part of she's a lesbian. She's saying that LGBTQ plus, there's a lot going on. She's talking about it. It's going viral right now. She says she's not with the TQ plus and all of that. We're going to get her thoughts and opinions. I think that that's crazy that the LGBTQ plus kind of has infighting going on in there. I never knew that was going on. They have like a little infighting going on over there. We're going to get into that. Also, we got Alex Jones talking about anti-gravity, the U.S. confirming anti-gravity. We seen the video from the girl the other day down there in Huntsville, Alabama, where Trump is trying to, well, I ain't gonna say trying, well, Trump moved the Space Force. She's saying that the anti-gravity and all of this stuff is going on down there in Huntsville, Alabama. We seen that the other day, but we'll go back over that. And we got an action-packed episode, chat. I hope everybody's having a good morning. Double tap the screen on your way in. Double tap the screen on your way in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We are about 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, man. Let's get into that baby goat, man. Where that baby goat at?
Don't like the beef, cause that don't come with no chick. I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say that they got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Georgia. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. Bad bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spray. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Talk to blood, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no dick. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my heart torn. I know the night is still young, so baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. I call them twin. Bed, I call them twin. Bitch, and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 = 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop for swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on 'em and they tryna get them gone. What you call it, that wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink. You know this shit is strong. No diddy. I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody cut out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I'm feeling like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk up out them titties. It's no question who young and the latest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. Shit, different type of free, so we ain't never got to tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, and sum me up like be hustle. Yeah.
Oh man, double tap the screen, shut a live out, chat. I just lost y'all, chat. I gotta pull the chat back up, man. I'm getting it worked out to where y'all can see the chat on the screen. I know y'all can see it, but on the playback where they can see the chat on the screen, man. Y'all like the new thumbnail, man? I tried something different with the thumbnail, man. I thought the thumbnail was pretty crazy, man. I thought the thumbnail was pretty crazy, man. Let's see who we got in here. Cypher, appreciate that super chat, Cypher. Everybody give Cypher some flames on that super chat. Nick Trumps, oh, you trolling. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. We do got an action-packed episode. I kind of gave y'all the rundown already. We got some clips we're gonna watch. We're gonna break this shit down. I am gonna open the call lines a little bit early today. Let's go on and open the call lines now, because I know somebody might be wanting to call in a little bit early. Okay, so we got the phone lines, the chat number pinned. Let me open up the phone lines and we're going to get into this clip right here. We're going to get into this clip right here. They're saying this woman is holding nothing back, man. Like I said, I seen parts of this video. I haven't watched it all. I just didn't know that there was infighting going on. I didn't know there was infighting going on in the LGBTQ plus community. Let's see what this lady got to say.
This is a message from an OG lesbian. The acronym LGBTQ plus is not a representation of a united community, but the strategic force teaming of the LGB with the...
So she said it's not a community, and it's not a, what did she say? Matter of fact, I'm just gonna let the video play through.
Not a representation of a united community, but the strategic force teaming of the LGB with the TQ plus that serves a dark agenda to rebrand sexual fetishes and disorders as sexual orientations. For what was once a legitimate civil rights movement, gay rights, has been hijacked quite literally by the TQ plus and used as a Trojan horse to mainstream their degeneracy. First, we have the untouchable T's, the trans cult, who want to sterilise children with puberty blockers, turn all homosexuals into surgical simulations of straight people, and destroy women's rights to enable men's fetishes. Then we have the Q's, young men feminised by sissy porn, furries and pups who fetishise bestiality, and even adult babies who fetishise infancy are all accepted and protected by the rainbow umbrella that magically transforms all scrutiny into bigotry. But the thing that requires the most scrutiny is the unspecified plus.
This is the Trojan horse, Corey World. She's finna get into the Trojan horse. She's saying the LGBT, when they added the LGB, she's saying the LGB when they added the TQ plus is when they went extra, is what she's saying. She's saying the Trojan horse is for the infants, man. She's saying MAPS, whatever MAPS is. I've seen the clip before. I tell y'all that I watch most of my clips, raw reactions with y'all, but I seen this one. She's saying MAPS is something of, it's an acronym for people liking kids. And she's saying that's what the plus is for. Everybody's like LGBTQ plus. What the hell is the plus? I mean, I never really thought about the plus because it really wasn't my business. But now that she's breaking it down, like, oh, this is what the plus is about, I'm behooved, chat. I'm like, damn, that's what's going on, according to her, you know.
At the end, a placeholder for what's coming next. MAPS, or minor attracted people.
That's what it is. Minor attracted people. She's saying that's what the plus on LGBTQ plus is. She's saying that they're weeding it in right now. That's why, you know, when a lot of conservatives or censors speak out and be like, hey, we don't need this shit in the damn schools. You know, why are they putting it in the school books, the little teacher books and stuff? And people are like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the community, even if they aren't TQ plus, they still speak out for it, you know what I'm saying? And what she's saying, being a lesbian, is like, look, man, they running y'all ass down so y'all can think it's okay for these minor attracted people, these maps, these people that like minors and shit, man. We're walking y'all down so y'all can think that shit is okay, is according to her, man. I'm gonna go back through and we're gonna listen to it.
Lesbian. The acronym LGBTQ plus is not a representation of a united community, but the strategic force teaming of the LGB with the TQ plus that serves a dark agenda to rebrand sexual fetishes and disorders as sexual orientations. For what was once a legitimate civil rights movement, gay rights, has been hijacked quite literally by the TQ plus and used as a Trojan horse to mainstream their degeneracy. First, we have the untouchable T's, the trans cult, who want to sterilise children with puberty blockers, turn all homosexuals into surgical simulations of straight people, and destroy women's rights to enable men's fetishes. Then we have the Q's, young men feminised by sissy porn, furries and pups who fetishise bestiality, and even adult babies who fetishise infancy, are all accepted and protected by the rainbow umbrella that...
Chat, what's so crazy? A person on Facebook, I don't know how the hell they on my friends list. It was a girl on my Facebook. She exposed some dude, probably like a week or two ago, like just sitting around in a big ass pamper, bro, with a damn pacifier in his mouth. Like he's sitting there sending her pictures, man. He's in a big ass pamper. He got a pacifier in his mouth and shit. Listen, man, it's not the kind of person I want around my damn kids, man.
That magically transforms all scrutiny into bigotry. But the thing that requires the most scrutiny is the unspecified plus at the end, a placeholder for what's coming next. MAPS, or minor attracted people, a euphemism that is already being used to describe pedophiles who are waiting in the wings for their time to shine. Because the LGBTQ plus sexual psyop is not about promoting tolerance of diversity. It's about grooming society to accept depravity. And as an L, I renounce all association with it and the LGBs who are accessories to the fact. And I urge you to do the same and join the movement for LGB without the TQ plus, because we need to divorce people and we need it stat.
So she calling for the removal of the TQ plus from the LGB. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to separate, man. She's speaking for the LGB. She's saying that they want to separate, man. They're seceding, man. They want to separate, man. I just thought I'd bring y'all that story, get y'all thoughts and opinions. Press 1 if you agree with that lady. Press 2 if you do not agree with that lady, man. We finna get on into the rest of the show, man. This is crazy. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. If this is your first time in my live stream, press 1 and I will give you a shout out. I'm kind of scared to play this clip right here because Joe Rogan be smoking the channel, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Joe Rogan gonna copyright it quick as hell. Let's see if they'll let us play it, man. Alright, I'm gonna read it first, chat. This is the lady right here.
All opens up. You got 005.
Okay, so I'm gonna read what she's saying. That's the lady right there. I'll read what the article's talking about, cause I don't want Joe Rogan to smoke my channel, chat. This is Sovi over there on X. It's Sovi_X on Twitter X. It says, my grandparents survived the Korean War, not because life was merciful, but because geography drew a thin line between freedom and a prison with no walls. I think of Yeonmi. I think of Yeonmi Park. She is not a distant cousin. She could have been me. I could have been her. If the border were drawn differently, my life would be measured in inches of height lost, pounds of flesh missing, and years stolen by famine. This is not an abstract policy debate. It is bone, marrow, and memory. It is the reason my conservatism is not a hobby, a hashtag, or a choice. It is survival encoded in DNA. So when you tell me you hate communism, I ask, do you know what communism means? Do you know the silence of a church outlaw, the emptiness of a child's stomach, the weight of the government that tells you your soul does not belong to Christ, but to a party? If you truly care about humanity, you cannot flirt with Marxist dreams. You cannot soften tyranny with new names. Communism is not theory. It gives graves without markers. It is families broken by borders. It is a people who look like me but live as shadows of whom they should have been if they live at all. And if words aren't enough, listen to, we're going to call her Miss Park. Listen to Miss Park. She tells how in North Korea, people ate rats who had eaten the flesh of surgeries failed and forgotten a cycle of hunger so dark it devours even the dead. So she's saying they were eating the rats. They were eating flesh from surgeries that didn't go well. So somebody passed away from a surgery that didn't go well. The rats ate their flesh, and then these people ate the rats, is what she's saying. She said, this is communism. That is why I'm conservative by blood, and the blood remembers. So when liberals approach me at work and expect me to fall in line just because I'm not white, it takes every fiber in my being not to be violent. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they want. They don't know how this ends. I do. History does. I remember my ancestors. I know what they endured. It's not a hard decision. Their struggle was not about transgenderism, not about late-term abortions. It was about life itself, about real freedom, and it is the easiest decision in the world. That's what that lady's saying right there, man. That's what this lady right here is saying, man. I can't play the clip because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not finna get the stream knocked down, man. But let's get into this last thing before we get into the main part of the show. We finna get into this last clip before we get into the main part of the show. Everybody double tap the screen, shut a live out for me, man. I hope everybody's having a good morning, man. Double tap the screen and shut a live out for me. This is a clip right here of this RFK, man. It's RFK. I haven't. So to break that down, RFK is saying that a member from the Chinese CDC was here. They're saying that it had already broke out over there, I guess. Bill Gates, some CIA people, they all were at a health conference doing a simulation, a pandemic simulation. Hey, Anton, you not lying, because you got this guy, Theo, you got Tim Dillon, Joe Rogan does comedy, hell, yeah. Not only do I think they brought it up at the meeting, chat, I think they used AI, chat. I think they used AI. I think they run simulations over and over, and they use the hell is that called, chat prompts, different kind of prompts, because you know the prompts that we get, you know, there's some damn guidelines on it. We can't just type anything anywhere on this shit, not the shit that we got right here. But there, it's a different system there. They're probably running these simulations. Okay, how do I usurp democracy? Okay, you may need a pandemic. You may need this, this, and that. Okay, then they double down. They refine that search until they get their best path forward. That's what I think is going on. I've said that I think probably at least the last 6 months, but now that I think about it, it's probably been going on since at least Probably 2012, man. Probably 2012 when they was talking about the world was gonna end. Because the only reason I go back to 2012 is because that's when the guy did the seminar for that D-Wave quantum computer. So when he was talking about the D-Wave quantum computer and integrating the quantum computing and with AI, I think around that time is when they were really ramping it up. Really, you know what I'm saying? Like, this what we about to do. Bring up RFK talking about this, it's like, I remember my channel got demonetized for this shit. Like, I remember one live, allegedly, I said RFK was anti-vax, you know what I'm saying? And then he goes to a Senate confirmation hearing and they're up there saying he's anti-vax or he is vax and shit. But it's like, I got demonetized for that. Like, they knocked my channel down for saying this dude was anti-vax. Allegedly. Allegedly. It's crazy.
For 2 hours. This is in October.
But the same question was brought up at his confirmation hearing. You know? It's crazy, chat. RFK out there, man. Press 1 if y'all like RFK. Press 2 if you do not like RFK, man. We finna move on to one of the main topics, man. Parliament, man. They over there in Nepal. They have set Parliament on fire over there in Nepal, man. Y'all can see this right there. That's the Parliament building, man, that they have set on fire over there in Nepal. It's going crazy, man. I told y'all last night that Nepal came through with these social media bans. Let me get to it. Let me get to the actual clip. What social media did Nepal? All right, so I remember it was like 26. Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and 23 other social media platforms. So basically what Nepal did was they gave these social media platforms a deadline to register locally. They wanted everybody to register locally, all of these platforms, and they said they wanted to do it to crack down on hate speech, to crack down on misinformation and fake news. That's what the Nepal government is saying, that they wanted these social media companies to comply with them on. Hey, come register with us, you know, so we can crack down on this shit. Well, a lot of them didn't. TikTok did, and TikTok was where these Gen Z kids, kids and adults organized, man. They organized through TikTok like, hey, let's all meet up down here and let's, you know, protest, quote unquote. Damn, chat. I don't know why it does that, chat. My gimbal always dies on me. Hold on. My gimbal dies on me, chat. Back to what I was saying though. It's a lot of different social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, X, Discord. I'm finna pull the list up here in a second. Hold on. Let me see. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I hope everybody's having a good morning. Wow. It's crazy. I'm trying to get my camera set up right. Okay. Yeah, chat, we are 25 subs away from the next sub goal, man. Let's hit 32,000 today. Sometime today, let's hit 32K subscribers. Here it goes right here. Nepal has imposed a ban on all the popular social media platforms. Nepal has ordered the internet service providers to block access to all 26 major social media and communication platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, WhatsApp, and Snapchat. The government took this decision after all the companies failed to register with the government within a 7-day deadline. They gave these companies 7 days to comply. It says the move of banning the social media platforms comes after the Supreme Court directive in a contempt of court case which instructed the government to ensure all domestic and foreign origin online platforms register with the authorities before operating in the country and to monitor unwanted content. They wanted the social media platforms to register with them and to monitor unwanted content. And they gave them 7 days to do it. It says the Honorable Supreme Court, in a contempt of court case, they had a court case numbered, has issued a directive order in the name of the government of Nepal to mandatorily list domestic and foreign origin online and social media platforms with relevant authorities before operation, and to evaluate and monitor unwanted content in accordance with the decision of the government of Nepal Council of Ministers dated 820509 for the implementation of said order. Oh, they date is crazy. They saying we in 2082. What? I don't know, man. This is from the Times of India. I don't know if they're on a different calendar than us or something. I don't know. It says, for the implementation of said order, the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology has published a public notice on 02/82/0512, giving a deadline of 7 days to list social media platforms as per the directive on regulating the use of social media 2080. All stakeholders are hereby informed that the Nepal Telecommunication Authority has been directed to deactivate social media platforms within Nepal that have not contacted the ministry for listing within the specified time limit, and to reactivate them from the same moment if they are listed. A notice issued by the ministry reads. It says, they block Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, YouTube, X, Reddit, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Discord, Pinterest, Signal, Threads, WeChat, Quora, Tumblr, Clubhouse, Rumble, Line, IMO, JLo, Soul, Hamero, Patro, Me Video, and Me Bike 3. Still operational was TikTok, Viber, WeTalk, Numbiz, Telegram, and Global Diary is in process. Well, we seen them go crazy over there. We seen Gen Z go crazy. I showed y'all the videos. Now y'all are seeing the video of Parliament being burnt, probably to the ground, chat. Parliament is probably gonna be burnt to the ground, man. Let me pull up the other video. Parliament is probably gonna be burnt to the ground over there, man. It's crazy work. Oh yeah, this open season. They're calling it open season on politicians over there. It's crazy, Chad. They're calling it open season on politicians, man. Wow. This is nuts, bro. Oh, but they did get the social medias restored, though. After 19 unalived, over 450 injured as of last night, but they did restore access to the social media platforms. They did restore access to the social media platforms. This is from Shadow of Ezra over there on X. It says government officials in Nepal are being hunted down, chased, stripped, and beaten in broad daylight. The fury has reached the doors of powers, with protesters setting fire to the homes of top leaders and even torching the Parliament building. Nepal's rulers now can't even walk their own streets without being attacked. Who is funding this? A lot of the people in the comments, I'll read some of the comments for y'all right quick. It says, nobody funded this. Gen Z were arranging peaceful protests against corruption, and the government banned all social media, basically shut down the internet, killed unalived 19 plus kids and students and citizens the first day of protest. After that, all hell broke loose on the second day. So they're saying that they were gonna go protest because the government had planned this already. So in response for them, I don't know, man. Hold on, let's see. Protest against corruption, and the government banned all social media. They are arranging peaceful protests. Okay, so that's what it was. They're saying, a couple articles are saying that the government is spinning a narrative like these protests are because we ban social media. But the people, the citizens over there are saying, no, we were already going to protest this corrupt government, and y'all blocked all access to social media in response to it, to try to stop us from organizing, or try to, get us taken off of the platforms, because they wanted the platforms to review all of the speech, review everything for hate speech. It's crazy, Chad. It's crazy, Chad. Hold on. I'm gonna play the video, man. Damn! That right there in the water is allegedly the Minister of Finance. The guy in the water is allegedly the Minister of Finance, Chad. This is crazy. Oh, is that Parliament? Oh, he's leaking. This is boots on the ground footage, chat. Yeah, I don't see any, just overly big people over there. Oh, they out there in flip-flops setting buildings on fire. They setting the homes of the leaders on fire. They setting the Parliament on fire. They said the Prime Minister already resigned, but they still rioting, man. They said they've been riding and coming up on 30 hours, Chad. Look, that's a guy coming up there tearing down the flag, man. They going nuts, man. This is in Nepal. I think it's safe to say their government has fallen. We seeing it in France. They say the French government collapsed. They got to name a new leader. We see Nepal, that Gen Z overtook they government by force. It's crazy. That's a lot of people. He got an iPhone. What flags are they flying? If they tearing down the other flags, what the hell flags are they flying? Oh yeah, it's going down, bro. It's going down over there, man. People in the Twitter poster saying England, Scotland, Ireland, Australia, Canada, Germany, New Zealand, France, take notes. Somebody else said nobody is funding it. The question is, why is this not happening in the United States yet? What? Beating politicians in the streets isn't justice, it's chaos. If you want change, build it, don't burn it. It says, you think someone is funding this. This is from Ash, Inspector Ash. It says, Nepal promised democracy in 2015. Since then, power was kept in Kathmandu. Province's silence. Oil dissolved parliament twice. Corruption plus harassment of citizens grew. Government bans 26 social media platforms. Protests met with 19 unalived. Democracy on paper, authoritarianism in practice. Man, yeah, that's crazy, Chad. That's crazy. Wow, Nepal has a lot going on, man. Yeah, that threw me off, chat. I'm not gonna lie. That threw me off. Where is the video that I'm looking for? Okay, here it is. That's crazy work, man. You said America's getting bullied by their nerdy politicians. We need more boots on the ground. The hell you mean? It's a social media psyop, likely. I'm gonna keep it real, man. I don't think burning the damn Parliament building down and politicians' homes and beating them in the streets is a social media ploy, man. I don't think it's a social media psyop, man. I think those people in Nepal had a damn enough. I think they had enough.
It's very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close.
This is Alex Jones speaking about the anti-gravity. I haven't watched this full clip. I think I watched like a minute into it and was like, yeah, I'm going to sit down and watch this with the chat, man. Let's see what Joe Rogan's talking about. Not Joe Rogan, Alex Jones.
Nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not. But, you know, we have the best military equipment in the world. You see that with this fight. We have planes that are undetectable, flying around like, you know, nobody's able to see them stealth. You guys want to be stealthy tonight. You know, you can be stealth, you'll never lose, right? But these are incredible planes and weapons. We have the best weapons in the world.
We seem to have lost focus and vision. Our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. We are capable of so much more. Technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow and improve productivity.
Energy, the seed corn of all development, all growth, all survival, energy. So energy, transportation, information, and manufacturing, these are the things that change humanity, that will change world power, and they are descending upon us in ways that are very unique. The technology is on the engineering benches today, but most Americans and most in Congress have not had time to really look deeply at what's going on here. But I've had the benefit of 33 years of...
No, I haven't seen the video game. I didn't know Alex Jones had a video game.
...studying and becoming friends with these engineers and these scientists. This technology can be built today with technology that is not developmental.
Bobby says, I trip out on conservatives now. When I was a younger conservative, conservatives did not wear dreadlocks or any type of progressive alternative aesthetics. So now they think conservative but look liberal. Okay. All right.
Deliver any human being from any place on planet Earth to any other place in less than an hour. To deliver Wi-Fi from space, where you never need a cell tower to connect. To deliver energy from space, where you never have to plug your phone in, and it trickle charges, and you can use that energy over time. It can be applied to cars, to houses.
We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. Left, we invented everything. And now it's AI.
Thanks, Alex, for having me on. Right off the bat, biggest revelation since we spoke in November of 2023 is that of the two videos, the MH370 videos, one of them was called satellite video, and we have been assuming that this was taken by satellites. Turns out it's actually something called Gorgon Stare Wide Area Motion Imagery. It's actually a software system that is recorded from drones flying up above. So, for example, I've got my my Malaysian Airlines plane right here. That right there is the Gorgon Stare video. A drone is flying above this plane, circling around, taking pictures, and then they have the software system produces Google Earth video playback. Now, this was 11 years ago that they had that capability, so it's probably a lot more advanced right now, but that's so important because that's the only proof that we need. We can literally just force the government to admit that that's Gorgon Stare, wide area motion imagery.
Remember, not everybody's up on this like you are, so here I'm interrupting.
Sure.
So this was 11 years ago now, but how long have you been exposing it? And you've been totally vindicated. And just slow down here. You just surmised it was satellite. We always thought that, but now they admit they've got these drones up at high levels constantly. Please continue.
So I've been researching this since August of 2023. The plane disappeared in 2014. The videos reemerge in August of 2023, which is when I started to investigate them. And as you said, I've at this point found enough evidence that these videos 100% must be legitimate, even though it seems impossible when we see them. When we look at this, people think we must be looking at aliens. The reality is we're not looking at aliens in these videos. We're looking at United States government technology.
And explain, those are the classic Tic Tacs that everybody sees flying around.
Damn. Y'all see it, chat? Is it too small for y'all, chat? Do y'all see the 3 little bubbles floating around this plane right there? There's 3 little Tic Tac like dots, like Alex said, floating around this plane right here. He's saying everybody in the videos are saying it's aliens and aliens, like we do have the alien hearings going on. But this guy's saying through his research, they're drones. We've had this technology at least 10 years, man. It's crazy. But look at them. Look at these drones, how they circling this plane, if they are in fact drones, man.
Oh, it seems impossible when we see them. When we look at this, people think we must.
Y'all see how they're moving? That's anti-gravity right there. Look at them.
Started to investigate them. And as you said, I've at this point found enough evidence that these videos 100% must be legitimate, even though it seems impossible when we see them. When we look at this, people think we must be looking at aliens. The reality is we're not looking at aliens in these videos. We're looking at United States government technology.
And explain, those are the classic Tic Tacs that everybody sees flying around.
Could be. I mean, they could certainly be confused with them. And what I want to say right off the bat is that we need to wake people up, and I'm really hoping that you and your audience can help with this. People like Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, they need to wake up. Like, I think they know that that the government's hiding things, that they do conspiracies, but they don't realize that the same stuff that's happening in, like, medicine is also happening in physics.
Oh, Bobby, you still here? Bobby, I hope you know, I do carry conservative values, nuclear family. I try to, be there for my children and, all of that. Homework every night, you know what I'm saying? Hey, do as I say, not as I do, type of dad. I do lead by example, though, you know what I'm saying? I don't do certain things around my kids. I try not to curse around my kids. I try to be there, very supportive of my kids. I understand the power of having both parents around, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a centrist, bro. I forgot to clarify that up when you came in here and kind of, just threw that blanket on me. You said conservative, so it's a little different, but I just want you to know that I'm a centrist too, though, conservative back.
They are actually hiding underlying physics from us and just hiding it kind of in the open, where we just don't realize.
I was about to say, how do you feel vindicated? The president and his science czar saying everything you said.
Crazy. Well, listening to that and then people trying to downplay it. Trump keeps repeating it over and over. We have weapons that nobody understands. I mean, and if you look at those videos, you go, do you think they're going to tell somebody like Elon about that? No way in hell. He doesn't have a need to know about this kind of weaponry, this kind of technology. In fact, I'm not even sure the president needs to know, but I know that Trump has been made aware because of the way he's talking about it. And he's even talking about China potentially catching up in a few years, which should be alarming for people. But I think the reason why Obama did know about this was because he didn't talk about the missing plane until 11 days after it disappeared. And then he only talked about it one other time ever. And then he never spoke about the plane ever again. So either Obama was the one who signed off on that operation, or they told him afterwards because they needed to cover up what happened to it. The other thing I want to say is that I'm going to start naming names. Marco Rubio and Chuck Schumer know about this. They know about this situation. I've seen an internal email that has military intelligence people on it to them explaining that those orbs are ball lightning. also known as plasmoids, toroidal plasmas.
So this is where this shit gets crazy to me. Like I was telling y'all earlier about the guy with the D-Wave quantum computer, then you put that with AI, then they went from, I think in like a few months, it was like less than a year, maybe 2 years, they went from like a few thousand, maybe a few thousand known elements to, you know, literally millions of known elements, man. Millions of possible combinations through AI that they could try and see how it could work and go together. Like they were saying, Bob Lazar was crazy talking about the element, what was it, element 115 or element whatever. Now they're confirmed that it is real, it can be made, and all of this is coming out through AI. So when it comes to shit like this, the government having things like this, yeah, I definitely believe it. I see you talking about the Anunnaki were here 5,500 years ago. I'm not debating if they're back or not. I think that the government is flying some shit around like this, though. You know what I'm saying? I do believe the government is flying these types of things around.
These guys know about it. They've been briefed about this.
So what is when Trump says we control time and space, as Science does, not Tic Tacs, how are they projecting it? Do we know?
Yeah, so the toroidal plasma is a shape, basically. It's a donut shape of plasma. It turns out plasma produces its own electromagnetic fields. So
then they're saying plasma produces its own electromagnetic fields, right? And then, like, chat, I know it's probably not the same thing, not the same type or whatever, but when you go into, like, donating, you know what I'm saying? Like, I worked in, what do you call it? Production. We'll just say a production environment. I worked in a production environment before. And plasma is, like, very valuable. Like, you can't use synthetic plasma. Like, it has to come from humans. It has to be, like, it can't be synthetic. Like, there's not, like, they can't use synthetic plasma. Like, that was one thing that was preached. It's like, this is very important, this is the only type of thing. And now he's talking about plasma with this spaceship shit. So it's like, I'm assuming that it's two different type of plasmas, but it's just crazy that they're talking about plasma in this way, and then just knowing my work history and shit like that, thinking like, damn, plasma was very important. It was an integral part of medicine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell it is, Edwin. I'm going to keep it real with you, Edwin. I don't know.
given this understanding, with a dense enough plasma, the electromagnetic fields can be self-stabilizing, self-containing. So you can almost imagine like these balls of plasma could really just be spun up, almost the same way where you flick on a lighter. And I think that's what's scary about it. I think that's part of the reason why they don't disclose it, is that unlike all the sophistication associated with producing a nuclear bomb, producing these balls of plasma that can do this might be relatively easy. Inside of that, it's probably like a hypersonic drone. What they did was they took the same spy plane concept where we used to use a plasma sheath in front of our spy planes to reduce the drag, and they turned the plasma sheath into a drone. They turned the turbine engine into a heat exchange. And now you basically just have a tube flying around, a magnetic tube flying around with plasma around it. It's something called magnetohydrodynamics. This is the concept of fluid plasma. But it's an air breathing system, which means that it essentially doesn't need onboard fuel. It can get what it needs.
Chad, now think about all the damn plasma centers in the world, man. What? This, I don't know, Chad. This is crazy, man. Now I'm thinking about all the damn donors in the world, man. Is all the plasma going to medicine, or is some of this plasma going to technology, bro? Like, what the hell is going on, man? I know there's different types of plasma and different temperatures and shit like that, man. But it's just crazy. Like, I mean, cases and cases, truckloads of plasma going across the United States every damn day. Is all of this shit going to make medicines? Or for surgeries? Or is some of it going for this shit, man? Okay, they're not talking about blood plasma. I told y'all that at the beginning, man. It's different types of plasmas, but I'm saying like he's saying liquid plasma though. Like would they study it? Like how would it work, chat? Y'all, somebody call in and tell me. Yeah, I'm on some alright, man. It ain't all that, man. Somebody call in and tell me, man. I got the phone lines open. Somebody who knows what's going on. I mean, I got my laptop right here, chat. I could Google it, but I want somebody to call in and tell me. Vans 2028 must call in and tell me, man. Yeah, it's okay, bro. I get it. It's not human plasma. I'm just asking, like, the study, man. I want somebody to call in and tell me how it would work. I can Google it. Fuck it. I'll Google it, man. I'm going to play the clip and Google it. Nobody wants to call in and have a convo, man. Damn, chat. Okay, CR.
It's from the air, from the environment. This concept of these air-breathing magnetohydrodynamics and these plasmas, it goes back several decades. It goes back to, I think, the fusion bomb. Edward Teller, the father of the fusion bomb. I found a paper from 1992 where he's talking about, the name of the paper is called Space Propulsion by Fusion in a Magnetic Dipole. So essentially what they figured out, in my opinion, was in the 60s, we figured out the fusion bomb, and then we never saw the fusion bomb ever again in the 60s.
And explain the fusion bomb. We all hear about hydrogen bombs, atomic bombs. Some know about neutron bombs. What is a fusion bomb?
So a thermonuclear weapon is a two-stage
hold on, caller. I'm gonna call you right back, caller. Give me 1 second. My audio's messing up. I'm gonna call you right back. All right, chat, y'all give me 1 second, man. Y'all know I gotta fix the audio. I don't know what the hell be going on. Every time I get a call, it does that, man. I'm glad somebody called. Hopefully he can explain to me what the hell is going on. I was pulling it up on the back end. It says magnetohydrodynamics refers to the study of dynamics of electrically conducting fluids such as plasma, liquid metals, and yeah, we'll read that when I call the caller back. Give me 1 second, chat. All right, chat, are we back yet? All right, chat, are we back yet? Hey, press 1 in the chat if I'm back, man. Press 1 in the chat if I'm back. Let me call the caller back, man. Hello, caller.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? We live now. We back live, man. My bad, we got disconnected. Double tap the screen, shut the live out, everyone. I appreciate you for calling in, man.
Yeah, no problem. I was posting under Vance.
Okay, yeah. Explain the difference to me. I was looking it up. It was saying that it's a difference. One of them is blood plasma, obviously. The other one comes from a different. But what is the difference though? Like not.
So I've given a lot of blood plasma myself. I'll talk on both of them. So I've given a lot of blood plasma myself, and of course, there's probably a lot of different uses for it, other than the main purpose of creating medicines for people. And what they do is they bring it down to it's kind of the best way I can describe it is with marijuana and concentrates. So they take the blood plasma and they concentrate it down to the best part of the plasma that it can be, and then within that there's DNA sequences within our body that determine our plasma and what it can do for people. So my plasma might not help somebody without the same type of DNA or blood patterns like type A blood, type B blood. So it's very specific, and some people's plasma actually creates medicines that other people's plasma just cannot because of their DNA.
Correct.
That's just medicine plasma. My bad, I'm also driving, so I'm kind of talking a little fast. And then the electrical plasma is created with electricity, and it's a byproduct of electricity and how, I'm not an electrician, but there are different forms of electricity. And one of the best ways for you to see it actually is there's actually a guy right now building plasma guns.
Okay.
and they're amazing. And he's showing them all over YouTube. And what it does is I don't know exactly. I'm not a scientist. So what plasma is it's electricity. And it can come in liquid form, gas form, solid form. Usually a solid form is in laboratories. Most people in their house, they can create gas form plasma. And all it is just a form of energy. Electricity is a form of energy. Plasma is a form of energy. And Nikola Tesla did a lot of work on plasma. And he was actually advanced on plasma technology before the rest of the world really was. And he helped develop a lot of these scientific papers around plasma. And then just from there, plasma evolved. But plasma was around before Nikola Tesla. People were experimenting with it for a very long time. Plasma is just something natural in the ionosphere. It's natural in lightning storms. There are things called plasma balls that can be created by lightning, and what it is just positive, negative electrons combining in special ways to create this type of energy.
Okay.
Hopefully I gave you kind of a little bit of a direction. The last guy you had on definitely had a lot more technical knowledge on it.
Okay, no, most definitely. We're gonna play the rest of this clip, and then I'm gonna do my research. I do appreciate you setting me on the right track, man. Great caller, man. I hope you subscribe to the channel and give us a call back one day.
Yeah, bro, I love your content. Keep doing what you do.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
Of course.
Man, I like that call right there. See, man, he called me out in the chat. You know, I tell y'all I don't know everything. I said, that's a theory, man. I said, hey, look, I don't know, but something going on. This shit seems mightily important. He was like, look, Plug, you tripping a little bit, man. I don't know if you off a little too much allegedly or you just, pondering things. But look, let me call in and let me set you on the right track so you can do your own research. I appreciate that, caller. I appreciate that. Let's get back into it, man. I'm finna play the clip again. Let's get back into this.
No way in hell! He doesn't have a need to know about this kind of weaponry, this kind of technology. In fact, I'm not even sure the president needs to know, but I know that Trump has been made aware because of the way he's talking about it. And he's even talking about China potentially catching up in a few years, which should be alarming for people. But I think the reason why Obama did know about this was because he didn't talk about the missing plane until 11 days after it disappeared. And then he only talked about it one other time ever. And then he never spoke about the plane ever again. So either Obama was the one who signed off on that operation, or they told him afterwards because they needed to cover up what happened to it. The other thing I want to say is that I'm going to start naming names. Marco Rubio and Chuck Schumer know about this. They know about this situation. I've seen an internal email that has military intelligence people on it to them explaining that those orbs are ball lightning, also known as plasmoids, toroidal plasmas. These guys know about it. They've been briefed about this.
So what is when Trump says we control time and space, as Science does, not Tic Tacs, how are they projecting it? Do we know?
We control time and space. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, so toroidal plasma is a shape, basically. It's a donut shape of plasma. It turns out plasma produces its own electromagnetic fields. So given this understanding, with a dense enough plasma...
So if he's saying we control time and space, is he saying, like, look, bro, like, we can time travel? Like, is that the theory? Is all the theories from when Trump first started running, is this coming to fruition, man? If we control time and space, chat, does that not mean we can time travel in a sense? Y'all let me know, man. This shit's crazy.
The electromagnetic fields can be self-stabilizing, self-containing.
Yeah, my gimbal keep dying,
so you can almost imagine like these balls of plasma could really just be spun up almost the same way where you flick on a lighter. And I think that's what's scary about it. I think that's part of the reason why they don't disclose it, is that unlike all the sophistication associated with producing a nuclear bomb, producing these balls of plasma that can do this might be relatively easy. Inside of that, it's probably like a hypersonic drone. What they did was they took the same spy plane concept where we used to use a plasma sheath in front of our spy planes to reduce the drag, and they turned the plasma sheath into a drone. They turned the turbine engine into a heat exchange. And now you basically just have a tube flying around, a magnetic tube flying around with plasma around it. It's something called magnetohydrodynamics. This is the concept of fluid plasma. But it's an air breathing system, which means that it essentially doesn't need onboard fuel. It can get what it needs from the air, from the environment.
It can get what it needs from the air, from the environment. What? Listen, chat, I'm gonna tell you like this. That's crazy, man. I'm not even gonna say what I wanted to say. It's the morning show. I'm gonna keep this shit cute, man. I'm gonna keep this shit nice and clean, family friendly as I can. While I just said the S word, I'm gonna keep it clean, man. But we're effed. If this thing don't got a gas up, it's just recharging itself, man, through the air. It's a drone, man. And they talking about other countries might get this technology. We got AI out here thinking for everybody and putting shit together, man. Work. Straight up. Work.
This concept of these air-breathing magnetohydrodynamics and these plasmas, it goes back several decades. It goes back to, I think, the fusion bomb. Edward Teller, the father of the fusion bomb. I found a paper from 1992 where he's talking about...
Corey World, you petty as hell, but I'm going to stop the show for you. You said, Plug, are you ever going to address the cat fighting going on in your Discord? I addressed it on last night's episode. If you go back to last night's episode, maybe the first 10 minutes, I addressed it, man. I'm going to just leave it right there for right now.
The name of the paper is called Space Propulsion by Fusion in a Magnetic Dipole. So essentially what they figured out, in my opinion, was in the 60s, we figured out the fusion bomb, and then we never saw the fusion bomb ever again in the 60s.
And explain the fusion bomb. We all hear about hydrogen bombs, atomic bombs. Some know about neutron bombs. What is a fusion bomb?
So a thermonuclear weapon is a two-stage device. It is an A-bomb, a nuke, as we would imagine, a big mushroom cloud, that ignites a fusion, secondary payload. And you should actually talk to Dark Journalist. I think you've had him on your show many times. He's, I believe, 100% correct about like the history of this science. Is they were trying to produce a fusion bomb without the A-bomb component to it. So just the fusion aspect of it. And people should wonder, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? The idea behind it is that you're producing a detonation that doesn't have heat, doesn't have neutrons. Most of the reaction that produces heat and deadly radiation comes in the form of neutrons. And they were trying to minimize the neutrons, trying to produce a clean hydrogen bomb. I propose that a clean hydrogen bomb might literally just manipulate time and space. And so if they discovered that, like during Castle Bravo, when they were, or the Ripple projects, when the nukes, they probably just decided this is too dangerous, this is too powerful to be allowed to be known to be public. And I can imagine people in a smoky room decided that, okay, we have to hide everything about this. Because how is this even possible? Like with Castle Bravo, they were trying to detonate, they expected a 6 megaton bomb explosion, detonation, and they got 15, 2.5 times what they were expecting. And what they realized was there must be another source of energy. Where's all that energy coming from? They realized it's coming from the 0 point energy. They realized resonance, trapped resonance, can produce an explosion, a detonation, significantly more powerful than anything prior. And so when they started tweaking these fusion bombs, they started producing them that were 1,000,000 times more powerful than the original A-bombs. The thing that you and other people need to get into their jargon, into their lingo, is aneutronic fusion. Aneutronic, so that means no neutrons. So this is a clean fusion reaction. When I started digging into these plasma orbs, there's only one configuration that produces a spherical plasma like that. It's called a field reversed configuration, FRC. There's only a couple companies, fusion companies, that are working on field reversed configurations. One of them is Tri-Alpha Energy, and the other one is Helion Fusion. Now, the trick about these field reversed configurations is they have axial jets coming out of them that can be used as propulsion. And so this is actually a challenge for a standing fusion reactor because you have these jets shooting out of it. But in a ball of plasma that's floating around in the sky, you can use that as propulsion. And that's what Edward Teller in his 1992 paper was talking about. That's what actually the founder of helium fusion. In the 90s, he was working on plasmoid fusion propulsion. That's what these guys were all working on. And so when people want to know which fusion companies are going to succeed, look at aneutronic fusion, field reverse configuration, and take a real good look at helium fusion. Their main investors, they got $2 billion in investments over the last few years. Sam Altman of OpenAI and Peter Thiel of Mithril Capital. Why are those people connected to, they're connected to the CIA, all these government. Why are they investing all this money in these companies? Because they know it works. And what you're looking at right here on the screen, that is a plasmoid. What happens is it spirals around and produces this plasma shape, and you can see these axial jets coming.
That's crazy. It's crazy, Chad, because even in like the centrifuge spins the blood around to extract the plasma from the blood. It's like it has to spin it. It's crazy. Or it cycles it through. Like this. I ain't gonna say spin it. It cycles it through. Then you got the centrifuge that when you want to remove the fat from it, you put it in that motherfucker, get the spinning real fast, and then you can see the blood separating. I don't know, bro. It's crazy, bro. Plasma will change the world. Then he says Sam Altman got $2 billion. We remember Sam Altman went over there to try to get the trillions from the Saudis. Now we seen Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel's the guy who's obsessed with the Antichrist. That's the one that Nick Fuentes said groom J.D. Vance for the presidency. It's kind of it's wild, man. But that's just crazy to see this plasma ball up like this.
This plasma shape, and you can see these axial jets coming out of either side. That's what they're using for propulsion. So when we see these orbs flying around in the sky, we shouldn't be assuming that they're aliens, although maybe the aliens have this technology, I don't know. But we definitely have this technology, and they will just look like a ball of light floating around.
Well, that's the big question. From all your research and all your sources, did we get this from aliens, or are we getting it from mathematics and producing it?
Humans definitely have produced this. One of my good friends is now U.S. Navy engineer Salvatore Pais. He has 5, they call them the UFO patents. But I've talked to him extensively, and he's sure, just like you said, that these equations go back to the 1900s and before. They go back to the time of Tesla. We've had plenty of time to understand how to manipulate space-time. In fact, it was Einstein that said we would find gravitational waves, and we did.
He did, and again, he wasn't even really religious, didn't believe in God until he saw it and said, oh my God, this is a sign. So, but again, back to this, and then when you continue, please. How big is it to have Trump and the science czars say we control time and space? I mean, they're getting us ready for something, aren't they?
Absolutely, and I mean, truthfully, I'm a little bit worried about it, because I look at this technology as the end of the world, potentially, if we don't get our act right.
I totally agree. This is godlike power.
Absolutely. I mean, teleportation, free energy, that's what we're talking about here. Even Lockheed Martin built a compact fusion reactor. It went dark in 2018. If people want disclosure, I've got receipts for days. Go talk to Charles Chase, former Lockheed Martin senior fellow engineer at the Skunk Works. He built a compact fusion reactor for them based on field reverse configuration, exactly what you're seeing right here. Went dark in 2018. We've never heard anything about it since. Lockheed Martin gets 97% of their funding from the federal government. I think people are recently floating the idea that Lockheed Martin should be nationalized. I mean, they absolutely should be if they have this level of technology.
But it already is.
Too far advanced.
It already is.
Yeah. I mean, in essence, it kind of is. And so I think my opinion is that they figured out the magic in the 2000s. A physicist named Eric W. Davis has been testifying with, talking to Anna Paulina Luna on these UFO hearings, which, by the way, are going to do nothing. But he wrote a paper called Teleportation Physics Study for the Air Force. And General Lanny, commander of the Air Force Research Labs, held that paper up and said, this is an example of the work I want done in my laboratories. That was back in the 2000s.
Well, let's talk about that. I totally agree. Anna Paulina Luna means well. She's smart. She's doing a great job. Has courage. But there's no discussion about advanced secret technology. It's like, what are these things? We don't know. They'll have these fake whistleblowers in, and they'll, you can see there's not a real discussion happening.
Hey, double tap the screen, shut the live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal, and we need to get to 100 likes right quick. What's up, Mama Money? I hope you're having a good day. If this is your first time on my live stream, press 3, and I will give you a shout out if I catch your name on there.
No, and you should ask them, what's the energy source? What's your little UFO that's flying around, that can teleport, that can float? What's the energy source for that? It takes this huge amount of energy. It has to be fusion. It literally has to be fusion. And we're going to find out it's neutronic fusion. And the reason why they can't talk about that is because it's national security. Same reason why they can't talk about the MH370 videos. That is a weapon. That is an energy source. And yes, it could be infinite energy for humanity, but it could also be instantaneous, annihilation for our entire planet with just the push of a button. And so we need to be having the conversation about national security and where is the line between when you have technology that you've developed for the military that could change all of civilization in an instant, because they've been stealing our future from us for probably, like you said, 80 years or more. And now I think they're at the point where they've been lying for so long that even if they were to tell the truth now, they're afraid of the consequences of how much they've been lying about it.
That's crazy. Joey and Chris, welcome in. I hope you guys subscribe, man. I hope you guys subscribe, Joey and Chris, man. Y'all give Joey and Chris a warm welcome. First time.
Guest we've interviewed in studio, I've given our set of people have had.
Shout out to Alex Jones for that clip. I got some more of that clip right here. I'm a little interested now. I'm a little interested in what this guy got to say. I don't know who he is.
Actually, before I just found out in this last few weeks that Epstein was doing gravity conferences with Lawrence Krauss, the PhD physicist, back in the 2000s. They were writing gushing articles about.
Let's stop right
Epstein
there.
Was,
exactly. I want you to have the floor. We'll do 30 minutes next hour if you can do it. Well, let's stop. Reset. That stuff was like hors d'oeuvres at a party or it's a cheese plate. Terrible, horrible, evil. But I'm telling you, it was money laundering, it was control of scientists, it was human genetic engineering, cloning, secret physics, secret science, a kind of club for these people. And you're saying you've run into that in your own research. Start over and you got the floor.
Yeah, Lawrence Krauss with the Gravity Wave Conference, it turns out Epstein was connected to a lot of physicists. And if you look at it through this lens of, the suppression of science, potentially related to nuclear weapons, gravity research, I think they figured out gravity or gravity modification with the fusion bomb. That's probably how they got it to work. And if you look at it from that perspective, then looking at those conferences is more of a situation of like picking the winner. Like they're meeting together to figure out who's going to be the person that wins the Nobel Prize for publicly revealing gravitational waves. And sure enough, 2017, there we go. We're just handing our Nobel Prize for gravitational waves to somebody who probably doesn't even deserve it, because they had already figured out gravitational waves decades before that. So you look at these conferences with Epstein and this gatekeeping and sketchy stuff that's happening, and you look at it through this lens of, this is them actually deciding like when we're going to be allowed to get some of these technologies. You also mentioned the PhDs and the gatekeepers. You're right, they are, a lot of them PhDs. There's something called the JSON group, and they meet every summer after the PhDs are all done at school, and they meet with the CIA, and they determine where's the line for national security on what things can come out. And in one case, they actually did a tribunal against a guy that won a Lifetime Achievement Award for gravitational waves, Robert M.L. Baker. They did Ron Pandolfi of the CIA put him up for tribunal because he was suspected of helping the Chinese figure out this gravitational wave stuff. In the end, they basically gave him a pass because the scientists that met decided, the effect is too small to really be significant, so we're not going to, throw this guy in prison for helping the Chinese or whatever. And that's what's going on behind the scenes.
So the scientific elite are the deep state of the deep state.
I think that's a good representation of it. What does the deep state mean? Essentially, for me, it's
So is they saying he directly helped the Chinese, or are they saying he published something that we had already figured out that the Chinese hadn't caught up to yet, and by him publishing that, he helped the Chinese? Is that what they're trying to say, chat, or are they trying to say, nah, plug, he was fucking with them, like excuse me for cursing, it's a morning show. He was messing with them like that, man. He was over there.
The people that are in the know of this, that are preventing us from getting it, and then the people like Peter Thiel and what have you who are profiting off of it. It really makes me wonder how many billionaires out there have been profiting off inside information about these emerging technologies, knowing that they're real, while the public has no idea whatsoever.
And that's a real class system there. But you hit something really key from what I've been told by high-level deep insiders. They said most of these billionaires are a holding company. So when you've got a whole group of scientists, private and public, governmental, they get together and actually create secret contracts and stuff. Then they'll have a spokesperson, and then they all get enriched and have power from it. And they even have their own hitmen, their own mafias, their own rules, their own courts, their own everything. Unless you've been hiding under...
Man, Alex Jones gonna put his ad in every single one of his clips, and man, shout out to Alex Jones for getting us that interview. I got the last part of the interview right here, chat. I believe this is the last part. Yeah, this is the last part of the interview.
Look at it from the lens of this technology being real. Free energy, fusion, green energy, teleportation, wormholes. All of a sudden, the way we look at aliens changes entirely. Aliens are now all of a sudden far more advanced than we were giving them credit for before. It's not going to be an ET situation where a little derpy alien comes around, derp, 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 derp. No, these aliens are going to be extremely advanced. In fact,
they said they 7 foot translucent or black people, man. They said the aliens that's been spotted in Peru and other places are 7 foot tall, and the ones that they said they seen in Miami were like ghost-like, and they were, you know what I'm saying, like teleporting, exactly like this guy saying. Y'all remember Miami when that shit went down at the mall and they said it was some kid fireworks or whatever, but they came and took everybody's phone. The black dude was like it was 7 people, 7 foot tall, shadowy figures. Every time he turned around, it was just closer to him, but it didn't have no legs moving like that, man. Y'all remember that? Then y'all remember the guy in Peru that filmed the damn translucent looking alien. Then you got the other people talking about 7 foot tall black people. Oh yeah, man, I don't think we looking for ET phone home, touch your finger. I don't think we looking for this guy right here. Y'all remember him? Yeah, I don't think we looking for him, Chad.
Any of them might be machine intelligence, essentially like an AI super intelligence.
You said it was recent.
And they're going to have the capability of free energy, transmutation, and teleportation, invisibility. All of these things they'll be able to do.
Sure,
so
and when it deploys against us, it's going to show us something.
Nah, I ain't talking about The Simpsons. I haven't watched The Simpsons in a long time, Vance. What I'm talking about is when the shit went viral, it was a black guy and they took his video off YouTube. I'm telling you, it was a black guy in the mall in Florida, man, and it was a lot of people. It wasn't even just him. That wasn't The Simpsons, man. This was real people saying that the mall had got shut down. There was an alien invasion in the mall. But then some people were saying it was shadowy figures. People were trying to debate whether it was demons or whether it was damn aliens or something. But this wasn't The Simpsons. I remember seeing dude. Then I remember he did an interview talking about they came and confiscated his phone. He did an interview about them coming and confiscating his phone. We covered it over here on this channel.
1 second, it makes a biological android. Looks like whatever we think. It's unlimited.
Yeah, and I don't know how limited disclosure is going to work. If you hear a lot of these guys, they say that like this. The problem with is once any part of this comes out, it all comes out. So the reason why they've been like covering up like the EM drive, the impossible drive, that definitely works. That's like the most basic form of manipulating the 0 point energy.
But now when y'all looked up what happened, the news is trying to say, oh my bad, the news is trying to say it was some kids popping firecrackers. They are some kids doing some stuff out front. But even when you see the video, you can go watch the videos, they're still on YouTube. You see something out there and it's like translucent. It was like translucent out there. And they're saying that they haven't explained that, but they're saying that it was kids doing something.
That's the Star Trek impulse drive, as opposed to Star Trek warp drive or a wormhole. They have to cover up every aspect of it. Because once
you notice how they told us in the 60s in that TV show is all real.
Bayside shadow figure. All right, I'm going to look it up on the back end, and we'll pull up that clip in a second. I'm going to look it up on the back end. Bayside shadow figure. All right, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We 25 subs away from the next sub goal.
Yeah, the Star Trek, even Stargate, and as well as honestly might be really, really accurate to real life.
What's crazy is, Joshua, when you say if the aliens are black, they must love basketball. Remember Space Jam? That's crazy.
And this is where also they throw it into the media, they throw it in our TV shows, and then we just think it's science fiction, when it actually might just be...
Yeah, you file it in your brain as fiction.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Is like you see a lot of people in my replies go, "This is fake. There's no teleportation is not really actually physically real." No, it actually is. Like Einstein's the one that showed that space is not an empty vacuum.
Yeah, no, Max Planck 130 years ago wrote on a board. It was an atomic bomb. So you're born, and you first memories are sitting around the dinner table with your parents, them feeding you, and then you're watching TV, and you go to school, you see airplanes flying around the sky, and cell phones and computers for young people. But I'm 51, so I'm...
Hold on, chat. I know Alex Jones got these ads and shit going, but we're gonna get right back to the Alex Jones clip. But this is the shadow figures that we was talking about right here.
Purdue Global was there for me at a time.
Man, listen, Purdue Global, I got ad free over here. Quit tripping on me, man. We got ad free. Let me switch the account, chat.
Okay, and now to our #1 trending story on CBSMiami.com.
It involves talk of alien sightings at Bayside Marketplace. On New Year's Day, there was a massive police response in downtown Miami. More than 50 young people armed with sticks began fighting. Police say juveniles were also setting off fireworks, causing...
So they saying the 50 people were armed sticks. They're saying 50 people armed sticks. The people that was boots on the ground was saying they was running because these shadow figure, alien, deep, whatever the hell it was, popped up and they was fighting for their damn life. They wasn't fighting each other. They was trying to, whatever the hell popped up on them that was tall. They said it's not upwards of 9 feet tall. Someone was like 9 feet tall.
Chaos.
So now people are posting online saying that police weren't there to handle a group of rowdy teens.
Y'all see where that finger just pointed? That's the translucent figure, man. What the hell is that? Where the finger pointed, man? What the hell is that, chat? Hold on.
Posting online saying... So now people are...
Boom, right there. Damn, they don't want to let me show y'all where the damn finger is. They cut the finger out quick.
So now people...
Boom, right there, where that finger is. That's the shadowy figure right there. Y'all see how big it look? No Diddy, no Epstein, no Drewski. But look, man, that motherfucker look tall as hell. It's translucent. What the hell is this? This is CBS Miami reporting it. Everybody act like we forgot about it.
People are posting online saying that police weren't there to handle a group of rowdy teens, but rather 8 to 10 feet tall, shadowy aliens. Conspiracy theories.
8 to 10 feet tall shadow aliens, man. Now, what the hell is you gonna do, Chad? If you at the mall shopping, trying to buy some school clothes or something for your kids, man, and you look around and there's 8 to 10 feet shadow aliens, man. They talking about that came and took dude's phone. Whoever, it was a guy who had video, man. He was inside the mall, man. That came and took his shit.
Are saying a big creature could be seen standing in front of the entrance to the shopping area, Bayside. Today, the phrases Miami Mall and aliens at Miami have been among the top 10 searches on Twitter's trending tab. Twitter, of course, now called X. And Google News even has several reports questioning the event.
So we reached out to the Miami Police Department. They issued a statement saying in part, quote, there were no aliens, UFOs, or ETs. No airports were closed, no power outages.
They damn lying, because what the hell was going on there? What was that? Now you trying to say it was teens. Let me get back to the main clip of Alex Jones and his guest, man. Let me get back to the main clip of Alex Jones and his guest. But yeah, that was what I was talking about, Chad. Back then, it was a black dude, man. And I remember the day that the story broke. It was a black dude, man, and he was tripped. Like, you couldn't, like, I'm not gonna lie, man. The look on his face, man, that man was still scared. It was a look on his face like, we don't know what the fuck going on for real. Like, I don't know where that guy is today, Chad. If y'all run across his social media, tell him to reach out, man. He probably can't talk about it. They probably got him to where he can't talk about what the hell happened. They already took his phone, man. But the look on his face was a look of, it's some shit here, man. Like, it's some shit here that we don't know what the hell is going on.
If you look at it from the lens of this technology being real, free energy, fusion, green energy, teleportation, wormholes, all of a sudden the way we look at aliens changes entirely. Aliens are now all of a sudden far more advanced than we were giving them credit for before. It's not going to be an ET situation where a little derpy alien comes around, derp, 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 derp. No, these aliens are going to be extremely advanced. In fact, many of them might be machine intelligence, essentially like an AI super intelligence. And they're going to have the capability of free energy, transmutation, and teleportation, invisibility, all of these things they'll be able to do.
Sure,
so
and when it deploys against us, it's going to show us something. 1 second, it makes a biological android looks like whatever we think. It's unlimited.
Yeah, and I don't know how limited disclosure is going to work. If you hear a lot of these guys, they say that like this. The problem with it is once any part of this comes out, it all comes out. So the reason why they've been like covering up like the EM drive, the impossible drive, that definitely works. That's like the most basic form of manipulating the 0 point energy. That's the Star Trek impulse drive, as opposed to Star Trek warp drive or a wormhole. They have to cover up every aspect of it because once you
notice how they told us in the '60s in that TV show is all real.
Yeah, the Star Trek, even Stargate, as well as honestly might be really, really accurate to real life. And this is where also they throw it into the media, they throw it in our TV shows, and then we just think it's science fiction when it actually might just be.
You file it in your brain as fiction.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Is like you see a lot of people in my replies go, "This is fake. There's no teleportation is not really actually physically real." No, it actually is. Like Einstein's the one that showed that space is not an empty vacuum.
Yeah, no, Max Planck 130 years ago wrote it on a board. It was an atomic bomb. Stars and the sun and all this amazing stuff around us. And then the president's saying we got secret technology that controls time and space, and we see the evidence all around us. What an amazing time to be alive. And you got Peter Thiel, heavily invested in all of this energy propulsion systems. I said I would have.
I see you, Domon. You say they use CERN too many times. Man, it's crazy because, you know, I'm from the South, so I'm not that far from Louisiana. You know, a lot goes down in Louisiana when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, man. Now you talking about CERN and now we got these shadow figures and yeah, all right, chat. I'm telling you, man, that dude looked like he had seen some life change, some life altering stuff, man. It looked like I don't know, man.
Interrupting, it's so fascinating. I did a bunch. Forbes will be with us a little bit in the next hour. He's got to come back again soon. He's been on once before. He vindicated his predictions. I'm just going to sit back and listen to you. What else should we know about what's happening? Why do you think they're starting to disclose it? Does Russia and China have it? Where does it go next?
Yeah, I think that AI...
That's the crazy thing. Just Dubs, they never said if it just disappeared or not. They never said if it just disappeared or not. I don't know. That's a good question. Cliffhanger.
Is kind of like forcing this to happen. And also in two parts. One, in that AI is probably going to start figuring this out pretty soon. I mean, once we stop training off of like Reddit and stupid things like that. But the other side of it, we need all this energy. So like Helium Fusion, for example, just signed a huge contract with Microsoft to make fusion reactors for the data centers starting in 2028. So I like to think that Microsoft does their diligence and knows about this, and I know Helium Fusion is legit. So, I mean, once that company goes IPO, guys, like, put your money there, because I feel like 10 years from now, that company is going to be $1 trillion company, if not more. What we need to know from the science perspective, we just need to know that space is not empty. Like, we've just been brainwashed. We've been brainwashed into thinking space is an empty vacuum. But it's actually just a cauldron of energy that's in equilibrium. It seems like there's nothing there, because if I take one positive charge and one minus charge, they cancel each other out. But if I separate them, now I've got separated charges. This is the idea of the 0 point energy. The 0 point energy is basically in an equilibrium. But if we rip it out of equilibrium, this is the concept of a warp drive. This is the concept of a wormhole, is taking that to its extreme. Is that if we can actually manipulate the fabric of our reality, the 0 point energy, think of it as being space-time itself. And what this means is that something like the ether is actually real. There is really this extra medium that we don't perceive, but it's all around us all the time. You could say it's quantized or whatever. I'll leave that up to the physicists to determine how they want to explain it. But it means that what we see as quantum entanglement, that spooky action at a distance, that's the same as a wormhole. Equals EPR. Einstein-Rosen, which is a wormhole, is equivalent to Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen, which is quantum entanglement. So you can imagine a black hole, when it's sucking things in, what's happening is it's spitting them out elsewhere, but maybe it's doing it like a sprinkler, as opposed to a coherent spitting it out, which would be more of like a wormhole, a passage through one point to another. That means that every point in space and time is actually connected. And the only reason why I don't instantly move from here to Mars is because that 0 point energy is acting as a barrier. It's the barrier between me and this location and that location. If I were to remove the barrier, that 0 point energy, that would remove all the inertia. That would move the resistance to movement. And this is what enables these faster than light, or at least approaching speed of light, movement capabilities. So what teleportation really is macroscopic quantum tunneling. It's the same phenomenon as quantum tunneling on the electron scale, where an electron can pass through a barrier, despite the fact that it does not have the energy to do so. If we thin that barrier, it becomes easier to tunnel. If we do the same thing with space-time, thin the barrier of the zero-point energy, then now we can also produce a wormhole. We can change the topology of space-time. Now, if people want to know more about that side of it, highly recommend checking out the Culture Wars podcast I was on with Tim Pool. I brought Dr. Yu from NASA with me, an extremely intelligent guy. He also understands this idea of the ether and that everything, if you really boil it down, comes down to magnetism. The scientists that people do need to check out, because all this paper, all this science is out there publicly. People just ignore it because, like I said, we've been brainwashed into thinking, oh, it's pseudoscience, it's not real. But if you just go look at the Black Project engineers that work for the Air Force, Lockheed Martin, the government, they're all saying the same exact thing. So you check out U.S. Navy engineer Salvatore Pais, his 5 patents. He literally references Hal Puthoff. Hal Puthoff was CIA. He was into remote viewing. He's the world's leading expert on zero-point energy. He's got dozens of papers with Lockheed Martin and other Black Project engineers explaining all these concepts. They go back to 1987. So the stuff has been out there forever. And then, like I said before, you've got people like Charles Chase, who's a career Lockheed Martin Skunk Works guy, started in 1986, worked with Ben Rich on the Nighthawk, the F-117 Nighthawk. And everybody wonders, like, oh, have we been incorporating these anti-gravity things into the B-2 bomber? Yes, because it's all just electromagnetism. Rich was the one that said all points in time are connected and that we have the ability to take ET home. Follow people like Charles Chase, who developed that compact fusion reactor, who was the leader of the revolutionary technologies division of the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. You will find all this stuff. We need to just wake people up.
So disclosures here. How does it happen?
Yeah, so that's the big point. What does disclosure look like ultimately? That's what I ask people was, what even is disclosure? You know, I think the MH370 videos are disclosure. What you're looking at on the screen right here, this is the schematics of the air conditioning system in a Boeing 777. There are 6 air conditioning manifolds. You can see those exhaust ports where the AC goes up into the cabin area. MH370 thermal FLIR video, you can actually see the thermal gradient of where each of those exhaust ports is on the plane. Can you imagine somebody faking that? There's no way that they could fake that. Disclosure isn't about somebody telling us that aliens are real. Disclosure is about us waking up. It's about us waking up and realizing, oh crap, we have not been getting told the truth in our physics books, by our professors. We haven't been getting told the truth at all.
I totally agree. Politics is downstream from the grassroots.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I say, like, you were asking about, you know, what's the deal with aliens or what have you. Well, if you look at it from the lens of this technology being real, free energy, fusion, green energy, teleportation, wormholes, all of a sudden the way we look at aliens changes entirely. Aliens are now all of a sudden far more advanced than we were giving them credit for before. It's not going to be an ET situation where a little derpy alien comes around, derp, 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 derp. No, these aliens are going to be extremely advanced. In fact, many of them might be machine intelligence, essentially like an AI superintelligence. And they're going to have the capability of free energy, transmutation, and teleportation, invisibility, all of these things they'll be able to do.
Sure,
so
and when it deploys against this, it's going to show us something. 1 second, it makes a biological android looks like whatever we think. It's unlimited.
Exactly. I mean, at that point, they could even produce biological beings. We could even theoretically be some type of biological and artificial intelligence for all.
Well, you know, from the deeper globalist research I've done, they believe we are like a museum exhibit for our own species, where we came from. They rebuilt where another planet we came from. That's what the actual globalists think, and this is like a reserve as like a museum piece.
And it's scary because there's a lot of connections to like the ancient history, the like reset theories related to this. You can imagine that one reason why they might not want this technology to come out is that it might be doomsday. It might, someone's going to detonate us and destroy our whole planet, reset us back to zero. In fact, maybe that's happened before. So,
that would be the Atlantis legend.
Or, like you said, this could be a museum. We could be like a zoo. This could be a prison planet. That's how I look at it. I look at it as like the only reason why you would hide this technology from the world is that we're essentially slaves. We're essentially cattle. From an alien perspective, this means that every kind of alien that you could ever imagine is probably real. You know,
so this is like a farm. It's a farm.
Could be a farm. And that's the part where, you know, the more I learn about this, the less I know about the origins of it. For me, personally, I don't care. Aliens are not big, they're not going to blow my mind or anything like that. I assume aliens are real and they're out there. For me, it's just a matter of like our civilization, us as humanity. We should be living amongst the stars. We should be doing all the things that Elon Musk wants us to do, which blows my mind that he doesn't realize that this is all real, because this allows for everything that he wants to happen.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, I don't think he tells everybody what he knows.
Yeah, but the way he talked on Joe Rogan, I've seen enough Black Project engineers who are in the know, and the way they always act coy about this stuff to know when someone's in the know. Elon's not in the know. I mean, maybe he's going to get told by Trump or what have you, but the way he kind of said about, oh, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman don't have any breakthrough technologies. If they did, I would know about it because I talked to those people, and if they did, they would be competing with me on SpaceX.
No, but it's well known. They still say the SR-71 Blackbird's the fastest plane in the world in deployment in the 50s, yeah.
So, and another person that people should check in is this guy named Paul Sis, who was, these guys are all professors, by the way. They're all academic professors, and they get pulled into these black projects. He was one of the people that helped them figure out this air-breathing magneto-hydrodynamic, plasma orbs. And there's this great presentation he did where he's going through all these, like, trying to produce a single-stage rocket that can go straight into outer space without any boost. At the end of it, he says, and people need to take this seriously, because right now, there's one of these parked over in Russia, and he shows basically what looks like a UFO. He says it's a microwave, something or other, but it just looks like a UFO. And he says, if we don't take this seriously, then this is going to be, parked over the White House pretty soon.
Well, that was my question earlier. Do we have any idea how advanced China and Russia are?
I'll tell you that Salvatore Pais, the U.S. Navy engineer, is extremely concerned and has been trying to get in touch with people in the administration and these, the Congress to let them know that China has been referencing his papers. They've been doing the research. I've read some of those papers. They absolutely are working on these types of fusion and fusion propulsion technologies. But it's hard to know because, we don't have the same information that like the intelligence apparatus has. But like with MH370, absolutely, the reason why they took that action on that plane has to be because of the engineers on board. Has to be because of those microchip engineers.
And by the way, I know you've talked about this at nauseam, but people don't know, most people know who you are, but why don't you recap that story?
Yeah, so the story of MH370 isn't one about a pilot that was a rogue pilot on a suicide mission. No. This was definitely espionage or counter-espionage. The story that's made the most sense has kind of come to the surface over the last 2 years is one where China was going after these 20 engineers that worked for Freescale Semiconductors, advanced microchip company that was tied to U.S. aerospace and defense. They were actually working on producing superconductive microchips. And they were going to China supposedly to upgrade the plants in China in Beijing. And what seemingly happened was that the United States intercepted it. They stopped this whole plan from going down. I can't explain the motivations of why they would do this as opposed to, just shooting the plane down or black bagging these people.
I think I saw you I thought, years ago. I thought it was smart. It was a demonstration, I think, to China.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that it's probably multi-purpose, and they probably also had backup plans. Like they set a fire on the plane to divert the plane, to kind of interrupt the whole plan, and then they break out the orbs. Now you could imagine that the reason why they're breaking out these orbs is at the plane is a demonstration, it's a warning. Because if you were China and you had planned this operation, and now the United States is, destroying your operation in real time, and then they use this weapon on it that like Trump says, nobody understands even how it works, you would be terrified. I mean, it's game over at that point. You just say, okay, whatever you want, you win. We can't compete with this. Imagine if you're Putin or Z and you get on an airplane and any moment that plane might go vanish to another dimension.
Yeah, that's just like Reagan with Star Wars. The Russians gave up because.
That just takes me to all of this talk like there won't be a North Korea anymore. There won't be this anymore. It won't be here anymore. And this guy's literally saying that they took the plane and it disappeared and it could have went to another realm. It could have went to another dimension. 20 engineers working on semiconductors were going to China to help upgrade their plants. And that plane just disappeared. Was the fire set on board and got, you know what I mean? It's crazy, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on.
Interrupt the whole plan. And then they break out the orbs. Now you could imagine that the reason why they're breaking out these orbs is at the plane is a demonstration. It's a warning. Because if you were China and you had planned this operation, and now the United States is, destroying your operation in real time, and then they use this weapon on it that like Trump says, nobody understands even how it works, you would be terrified. I mean, it's game over at that point. You just say, okay, whatever you want, you win. We can't compete with this. Imagine if you're Putin or Z and you get on an airplane and any moment that plane might go vanish to another dimension.
Yeah, that's just like Reagan with Star Wars. The Russians gave up because they couldn't compete with it, even though a lot of it was a bluff, some of it was real. That is exactly what's happening here. But you said a key thing. Trump's like, we don't even know how it works. People that don't know, it's been like at least a decade. The main software engineers and chip designers admit now it's AI and systems making it. No one engineer, no one knows even how this stuff works at this point.
It's really advanced, and it's not a situation where somebody just figures this out and now they understand it all. We're talking about decades of advancement of physics, going back to nuclear weapons.
Just raw research, just trillions and trillions and trillions.
Science works, and I think it's actually connected to SDI as well. You were talking about, Reagan. Is that what if we won the Cold War because we figured out this technology, and then boom, Russia just loses instantly? Because like Sal was telling me yesterday on the podcast, you guys should check it out, the Hard Truth podcast, Salvatore Pais yesterday.
Yeah, talk about the new show you just dropped.
Yeah, so 2 shows just dropped, actually huge if you guys want to check them out. If you want to know more about the science, check out my Hard Truth podcast with Salvatore Pais. That went live yesterday, it was live. And then the Resilient Show with Chad, he's a former JSOC operator. That was a great episode talking about kind of all of the espionage aspect and angle to MH370 and, how it would have been approved. And the thing that spooked me talking to him was that, I said, why am I being allowed to do this? And he's like, you are disclosure. If you're still alive and you're doing this, they're letting you do this, which kind of spooks me because I don't like feeling like I'm being used.
Well, you're pretty smart, but you want to explain that to you?
Sorry, what?
Why are they letting me do this? Why are they're allowing you to do this? You are the disclosure. We don't gotta say it. We gonna let you say it and maybe roll it out a little bit here and there, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, Chad.
No, I mean I've got a big perspective on this. You want to give me my position on why that is?
Yeah, please.
Out over 20 years ago, the globalist is a big college of professors and scientists and debates. They're having their own debates. And they see different movements and different leaders and different groups as like control panels. They don't control us, but they can build us up with promotion, bring us down. They want lots of different dialectic forces so that they can basically manipulate it and control it. And then they'll admit they're not like masters of this. So I'm not run by the globalist, but 100%. There are enough factions of it that I've not been killed and they blocked other groups doing it. So there's factions within factions. They also like diversity within certain individual classes that they've type analysis that aren't on power trips or don't want to be megalomaniacs. The reason you're alive is because you're on a power trip and don't want to take over. So they look, these people actually care about humanity. Backdrop, they claim they do. So we're like brakes on a car. So they're driving 200 miles an hour, but you and I are the brakes. You understand what I'm saying? For when their own people get out of control or they need to adjust things. We're basically steering. Does that make sense?
And that's the thing. It's hard for me to figure out like who's on what side and who wants what to come out, because even people like Hal Puthoff, who's got 1 million NDAs, and he said he's going to go to his deathbed without declaring any of this. Like, I think he's partially a gatekeeper. Like he partially blocked Salvatore.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nobody, even the top of it, doesn't know. They're all pretending. Yeah. It's like Trump going, the scientists don't know how it works. I mean, they admit like the truth is nobody's in control, bro. That's the secret.
Some of them, these guys are getting so old now that they probably want some of this to come out because they're realizing, oh crap, the suppression worked way better than we thought, and now it's never going to come out, and they're like in their 90s now going, my grandchildren aren't going to get free energy unless this comes out.
Exactly. So a lot of the globalists are having second thoughts. I've had some of the top people tell me that personally, that they've had second thoughts.
Absolutely. And I call this whole thing woke disclosure because I've been watching these CIA agents talk about it, and the way they talk about it is like they're just better than us. Like they just know better than us, and I can't stand that.
No, they had all the secrecy, all the unlimited raw research funding. They should stop playing God.
Yeah, they need to stop playing God. Stop pretending like they know what's good for us and know what's better for us. Oh, we're protecting you. We're going to wait for humanity to become enlightened, and then we're all going to be, these, just pure good people that will never do it. That's never going to happen, right? Humans are what humans are.
Meanwhile, the globalists are flooding speed and serotonin reuptake inhibitors and 5G and poison and teaching kids 2 + 2 = 7. No, they want to sabotage humanity because they see it as competition against them.
And this is a great segue into, I heard you mention Epstein actually before. I just found out in this last few weeks that Epstein was doing gravity conferences with Lawrence Krauss, the PhD physicist, back in the 2000s. They were writing gushing articles about
let's stop right there.
Was,
exactly. I want you to have the floor. We'll do 30 minutes next. Now, this is going to be spectacular.
And I don't know how limited disclosure is going to work. If you hear a lot of these guys, they say that.
Yeah, we seen that one, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. That was a very informative video, man. That sunk my mind on a little track, man. I'm gonna do some research, man, and see what's going on. But we remember that girl from Huntsville, Alabama, that was talking about the anti-gravity down there in Huntsville. They said that got her out of the way. So that's why this guy's asking, like, why are they letting me do this? Yeah, they got that other girl out of the way that was talking about Huntsville. But yeah, chat, I got the call lines open if anybody wants to call in, state their thoughts or opinions on anything that we covered today. Go ahead, man, call in. I'll hang out for a little minute, then I'm going to take care of some things around the house, cut my grass, and get ready to get the kids. Your great-grandfather is sharing the same space as you, just in another dimension. Well, I hope Pawpaw, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna call him the big OG. If he around, man, I hope he's seeing this grind that I'm putting in. Big OG. You ever watched that movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I don't think I have.
Call from
Journey.
What's going on, Journey?
Hey, what's up, Plug?
Not much. How you feeling about what they saying today?
Man, I just got a little question for everybody up in here, man. I hope everybody's doing good. Now, my question, Plug, is it's about green screen.
Green screen? Explain what you mean.
Green screen.
What, just in general, what do I think about green screen? Being able to put a green screen behind you?
Think? Do you think that this could have been set up? We'll see, because I'm going to read something to y'all right quick, because I'm about tired of them trying to play with the people. That's Google. I said Google. Google said yes. Google, can you use green screen in the daylight? This is what Google told me. Yes, you can use green screen in the daylight, but it's challenging because sunlight is difficult to control and can cause uneven lighting and changing shadows. Okay, this is what it said, right? Which are detrimental to a clean chroma. Remember, Tyler the Creator just came out with Saint Chroma album. And what hat he wearing on his head? That's what my damn class had to use, because they think I'm so damn slow. Saint Chroma, okay, chroma, okay, which are detrimental to a clean chroma key effect, okay? For best results, it's recommended to create a controlled environment by blocking out all sunlight from the outside, okay, and using separate, soft, and even artificial light within the mall. We indoors, okay? Artificial light. I got to say, Plug.
Okay. You think she got up out of here, man? So I think she's alluding to the Project Bluebeam. We remember seeing things about Project Bluebeam, seeing the floating cities. I think that's what she's alluding to, man, without saying too much. But yeah, I do, whether that was a hologram or not, Project Bluebeam or not, I do think that we are on the cusp of a fundamental shift in society. We are on the cusp of a fundamental shift in society. She mentioned that Tyler, the Creator album. I go back to even Drake, What a Time to Be Alive. You know, like I'm at the age to where I didn't see the 8-track really, but I seen cassettes, I seen CD players. Handheld CD players are in museums now. I seen the birth of social media, from flip phones to touch screen. We just covered the meta glasses that can dox anybody. It's a fundamental shift in society is upon us, and I don't know, man. Pray everybody's here for it. It's crazy, man. But yeah, I'm gonna take care of some business, chat, and I will see y'all on the next one, man. Be sure to double tap the screen, shut a live out. I'll see y'all tonight. I should be here tonight. I'm gonna try to come on a little earlier tonight than I did last night because I was tired as hell when I woke. Going to sleep at 1 o'clock and having to wake up extra early is not it, chat. So I might try to come on. Last night I think I came on around 10. Was it 10:30? It might have been 10:30. I don't know, chat. But long story short, we'll be a little bit earlier tonight. Double tap the screen, shut a live out, and I'll see y'all on the next one, chat.